Welcome to Understanding Employer Rules and Policies for Attendance at Work. In this lesson, you will learn about probationary periods, when to show up and when to leave, about taking breaks, how to get paid for days off, and what to do when you're sick. Attendance matters all the time, but especially during your probationary period. Probationary periods are the first 1 to 3 months after you start a new job or switch to a new position at your job. During this time, your employer is carefully monitoring you to figure out if you are a good fit for the position and for their organization. It is very important you are on your best behavior, making sure your words and actions follow all of the employer's policies. One of the top causes of getting fired is issues with attendance. Albert Einstein said, "You have to learn the rules of the game, and then you have to play better than anyone else." This quote is a great tip about attendance at work, especially for workers still in their probationary periods. For when to show up and when to leave, a good rule to remember is, if you arrive early, you're on time. If you arrive on time, you're late. If you arrive late, you might lose the job. Don't rush into the building right at your scheduled start time. That will raise your stress and anxiety and could upset your coworkers too, especially if you are there to relieve them. Not a good way to start your shift. Instead, plan to arrive 10 to 15 minutes ahead of your start time. This way, you have time to put away your belongings, use the restroom, clock in, and get settled, so you are actually ready to begin work when your shift begins. Employers expect you to work all the way through till the end of your shift as well. It's not okay to leave early without a supervisor's permission. Your break time does not start when you get to the employee break room. It starts when you walk away from your workspace and ends when you begin working again. If you have a 30-minute break, you can only be not working for those 30 minutes. Leaving for break a few minutes early or coming back a few minutes late is actually a big deal because it is just like stealing from the company. Plus, being on time will help you keep the peace with coworkers, especially when someone is waiting for you to return from break so that they can go on theirs. The only way to get paid for days off is to learn your employer's policies and follow their guidelines for how to correctly ask for time off and how to call out. The more advance notice you can give your employer, the better. This gives them more time to prepare for your absence. Full-time employees usually need to work a couple of months at their new job before earning any paid vacation days. Realize that many employers do not offer paid vacation days or paid sick days to part-time employees or to full-time seasonal employees. Some employers offer a certain number of hours of paid time off to employees, which is a bank of available hours you can use as needed for vacation, personal, or sick days. It is always best to get someone to cover your shift before you call out or ask for a day off. If someone does agree to cover your shift, you should offer to work one of their shifts in exchange. When someone agrees to cover your shift, you do still need to speak with your supervisor instead of just not showing up. Understand, though, even when you do follow the procedures for requesting a day off, that does not necessarily mean you will be allowed to take that time off work. You need to respectfully accept their decision. In this country, 3 out of 4 civilian workers have access to paid sick days. However, statistics show that the less you are paid per hour, the less likely you are to have access to paid sick days. Either way, you can't just call out whenever you want. After working in a full-time job for 1 year, on average, you will only have 8 paid sick days for the entire year. and those sick days are not usually given to you right away. Benefits often start 60 to 90 days after you begin working. Even then, you'll likely earn one paid day off at a time. For example, you might earn 1 day every other month for a total of 6 days off in an entire year. Learn your employer's policies for calling out sick and follow those guidelines. Make sure to find out how they prefer you contact them by email, text, phone call, or on a company app. No matter what, as soon as you begin to feel sick, you need to contact your supervisor. Do not wait and call out after you were due to be at work. Give your employer an explanation of why you are calling out sick, but they don't need all the gory details. If you are still sick the next day, you will need to contact them again. For your own health and the safety of your coworkers, if you are sick, you should not be at work. Now that you have completed Module 2, please complete the recommended follow-up activity